maybe she wants to leave, which is the most interesting part of it. Could there be a player in Chicago she wants to get away from? Can you imagine her wanting to leave a team to get away from somebody?
Remember when Angel Reese was being hyped up as the next big star? Well, it seems the narrative is shifting. Some of her own teammates are now speaking out, and one anonymous Sky player had a surprising take on what it's really like to share the court with the rookie sensation.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Chennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
The Chicago Sky thought they were getting a franchise savior in Angel Reese, someone who could lead them back to championship success.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Angel Reese, LSU.
But instead of bringing the team together, Reese's arrival seems to be creating cracks within the organization. Rather than building unity, many believe the Sky are now dealing with a deeper culture problem.
Well, what happened to the culture? Who torched the culture? Who's selfish on the team that would cause the culture to melt down?
Let's start with Reese's performance on the court. Her talent is unquestionable, and she's putting up solid numbers that reflect the dominance she showed at LSU. The problem, though, is that those stats aren't leading to wins, and that's where the real tension begins.
What's crazy about this is she had Angel Reese's back, and I can't help but wonder, is that what happened here? Is Angel Reese and the way she wants to play, and I don't know if you've ever noticed her social media post, but she's very me.
Reports suggest that Reese's me-first mentality is creating serious tension in the locker room. One veteran player, speaking anonymously, revealed it was clear who she was trying to impress, and it wasn't the team. That's hardly the team-first mindset you'd expect from a supposed franchise cornerstone. To make matters worse, some teammates are even rumored to be considering leaving because of the toxic environment.
You may have a player that has decided that she's had enough of that. So I think it's going to be interesting what's going to happen.
Still, the situation only seems to be getting worse.
And there was a very interesting report that came out about some of the things that were going on behind the scenes with the Chicago Sky. And it seemed that Weatherspoon had hitched her wagon, so to speak, to trying to pump up, make Angel Reese a superstar, elevate her in a rookie.
Remember Teresa Weatherspoon's brief run as head coach? Rumor has it that Reese was given preferential treatment during her time in charge. You can imagine how that sat with the rest of the team. It was like pouring gasoline on an already burning fire.
Many times in the midst of that double-double streak, where it felt like it was more important to the Sky for Angel Reese to get a double-double than whatever the result was on the score. That's the way it felt to me in some of those.
At this point, you might be thinking, come on, she's just a rookie. Give her time to adjust. And that's fair. But here's where things start to get even more concerning. Reese's social media activity has been raising eyebrows too. Instead of highlighting her teammates or celebrating team victories, most of her posts focus on her own achievements. She even went as far as to say,
I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Confidence is one thing, but is that confidence starting to turn into something more harmful? Just look at what's happening now. Marina Mabrey is gone, and Chennedy Carter is practically pleading for a trade on social media. Is Angel Reese the reason behind all this turmoil? It's beginning to seem like her oversized ego could be fueling a mass exodus out of Chicago. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks.
How about team? What happened to that? Well, I mean, it's wild. She plays the victim. She has turned into the heavyweight chain, the Muhammad Ali of victims.
Some critics have even started comparing Reese's effect on the team to other stars who've stirred up drama in the league. And that's not the kind of reputation any young player wants. The Sky believed they were getting a cornerstone to build their future around, but instead, they may have ended up with a wrecking ball tearing it all down. So what comes next? Can Chicago find a way to harness Reese's undeniable talent while keeping her ego in check? Or is this the start of the end for the Sky's championship hopes? One thing's for sure, the Angel Reese experiment in Chicago isn't going as planned, and the team's issues look like they're about to grow far bigger than just a feud between a couple of players.
Chicago Sky franchise has been an absolute dumpster fire since winning the WNBA championship in 2021. Let's go through some of the names that have left. James Wade, who was the coach and GM, left in the middle of the season last year to go to the NBA. Candace Parker, Emma Messman, Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley.
Plenty of players have left the Sky, but when a key piece like Marina decides to jump ship mid-season, it's a clear sign that something is deeply wrong. And Marina was just the beginning. The championship culture Chicago once had? It's gone, replaced by a toxic environment that's pushing players out one after another.
Now, Marina Mabrey, she's already flown the coop on this team, and it was quote-unquote because of culture. Now, Marina Mabrey, well, what happened to the culture on this team? Who torched the culture?
But let's rewind for a moment. Remember Teresa Weatherspoon's stint as head coach? It was short, chaotic, and left the Sky in shambles. One player even admitted, it was clear who she was trying to please, and it wasn't the team. Can you believe that? In just a single season, Weatherspoon managed to fracture the locker room so badly that players were practically sprinting for the exits.
Definition of stat padding. You are down by 22 points, and you've got the Fever's bench player, playing against bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double.
And it gets even worse. Under Weatherspoon, the Sky finished with a miserable 13-27 record. That's not just disappointing, it's catastrophic. Exit interviews showed that players were fed up with her tactics and communication style. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion, while the front office just sat there with the parking brake still on.
From the beginning, it was clear that Weatherspoon's inexperience would be a difficult hurdle to overcome. Weatherspoon's inability to keep the team schematically prepared was evidenced by her rotations and poor late-game play calls. So basically, criticism of Weatherspoon, her failure to maximize rookie Camila Cardoso, the number 3 overall pick. According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players.
After all the chaos, the Sky didn't even bother waiting for the season to officially end before showing Weatherspoon the door.
After a 13-27 season, the Chicago Sky have decided to fire Teresa Weatherspoon. In the words of Vince McMahon, "You're fired!"
They cut ties with her with only a few games left in the season. Can you imagine? It's like benching your starting quarterback in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. And that's exactly how she handled Cardoso.
And look, as an organization, we just, felt it was time to make a change. There's just private issues that I think we will keep just in the Sky locker room.
The fallout from Weatherspoon's brief tenure is still being felt. Players like Chennedy Carter are openly flirting with other teams on social media, while new head coach Tyler Marsh is left trying to pick up the pieces and has got a massive job ahead of him.
In terms of how we want to play here with the Sky, we want to put forth a team that the city can be proud of, that kind of embodies and takes on the characteristics of that city. And I hope that in my own way, I can help instill that here with the Sky, and that we can again be something that the city of Chicago can continue to get behind and be proud of moving forward.
It may be a little late, but Chennedy Carter's recent tweet just lit up the WNBA offseason. Can you believe she actually asked fans which team they'd like to see her play for next year, while she's still under contract with the Chicago Sky? This isn't just a case of a player being unhappy. This is a full-blown crisis for Chicago.
She posted this to the world. Let's chat. Drop the WNBA teams you would like to see me sign with next year. Y'all be coaches and GMs anyway. Let's see what you think.
The Sky brought Carter in hoping she'd play a key role in their rebuild. But with this tweet, it's like she's telling the whole world she wants out. And it's not just what she said, it's how she said it. Her post read, "Let's chat. Drop the WNBA teams you'd like to see me sign with next year. You'll be coaches and GMs anyway." Ouch. That's a direct shot at the Sky's front office.
Not gonna lie to you, I assumed the Chicago Sky was going to bring her back, but maybe she wants to leave, which is the most interesting part.
So what does all this mean for Chennedy Carter's future? As a restricted free agent, the Sky can technically match any offer she gets, but after her recent stunt, they might just let her walk. Other teams may also hesitate to pursue someone willing to air out locker room drama on social media. Sure, Carter can flat out score. She's instant offense and one of the league's purest shooting guards, but the question remains, is her talent worth the baggage? New head coach Tyler Marsh isn't exactly putting out the fire either. When asked about Carter, he brushed it off, saying his focus is on players currently under contract. Translation, she's not our problem right now. The catch, of course, is that Carter still technically is their problem until free agency begins. She was a key catalyst for last year's success, but her future in Chicago looks grim. That tweet may have cost her in a big way. Teams desperate for a scorer might decide the drama isn't worth it, while the Sky themselves are probably counting down the days until they can move on. Who knew just a couple hundred characters could trigger this much chaos? Still, Carter remains on the roster for now. Could her time in Chicago really be over? And if so, where does she go next? Believe it or not, some fans are already speculating about a shocking twist: Chennedy Carter teaming up with Caitlin Clark on the Indiana Fever.